In this lesson, we're going to talk about CSD analytics security. So in each space, there are space groups. Each user is added to a space group, and this allows them to have different permissions within CSD analytics. So if users are set up in more than one space group, the user permissions will be based on whatever security group has the most permissions. You can also set users up inside of InfoOS. When you set up a new user inside of your tenant, all of the security roles that are tied to CSD Analytics are started with SX-something, as shown here. Let's do a demo. So in our tenant, we're going to go into CSD Analytics. So I'm going to go up to the top left, click on my navigation menu, and then I'm going to select CSD Analytics from my application list. From here, to access those space groups, we need to have edit capability, okay? And you'll also need to be an admin. So I'm going to, up on the top left, I'm going to go to that global navigation menu, the hamburger menu, and I'm going to go to space membership. When that menu appears, you'll notice that we are in the consumer space. That consumer space is your CSD Analytics space. So once we're here, we're going into space management. You'll notice that we have space groups that is listed. So when I click on my space groups, you'll notice we've got a whole list of all the space groups that are available and associated to the consumer space. If I click on any one of these, you can see these are the operators that are inside of that space group and the permissions that that group then has. When we go over to like a admin space, you can also search on the top here, right? And you'll see that there are two space groups here. We have a SX Consumer Administrator and a Burst System Administrator. Your Burst System Administrator is all of Burst, Security, Admin, and then your Consumer Admin is the admin specifically for the consumer space. When we go to our Burst System Administrator, right, you can see the same permissions, but not the same amount of users. Here are the users in my consumer, but not everybody has a Burst System Administrator access. The other place where we can add that security is inside of InfoOS. Now, mind you, you cannot add things that do not filter back up are those burst user security roles, your users that are not tied to other things. So when we add a new user and we add them, that person will get added to this list. If that person gets disabled, this list does not update going back. So it does not update your security inside of InfoOS. So we go over back to my menu and I'm going to click on my waffle menu and I'm going to go to OS and I'm going to select security. So you can go into each individual user and update their security, or you can go into your waffle or your hamburger menu, click on configure, master data types, security roles. So anything that is listed as a burst, as X rates, I'll do the same thing. And I'll hit search. There we go. And you'll notice here, right, we have all those security roles. We've got a couple of neat things that we can do here. So if you want all new users to, when they get added, to always add them into the burst order entry group, we can click on it and we can select that box, which means when we add a new user, this will be part of the default security that gets added to all new users from the beginning. If you have other applications that you want to assign this security role to, that kind of gives you then the opportunity to do that as well. But in the best, you'll need to either add them when you first create them, add them here. So you go in and say, just do a search, right? And see if there's everybody that's in there. Looks like all of our users have this access. So you can search for them here. You'll say add and close. And then when you're done, you need to save it on the top. It'll save it. It tells you it's been updated on the very top here. And then you'll have access. That individual will have to close CSD Analytics and then reopen it to get that access. Kind of like Cloud Suite distribution. When security roles change, you need to log out and log back in. So this concludes our CSD Analytics security training.